feeling like I'm academics.
At an expeditious pace today. Okay? It'll all be revealed. Just chill out, okay? Now, the Diddy trial actually started about an hour ago. Yo, I need some water. What the fuck? No, I got water here. The fuck? Anyway. So, the cross-examine. Oh my God, I know. I got to go light today, Chad. My voice. Got to go light. Wow, I could feel it. I could feel that it's about to go. Was I screaming yesterday? I know we did 10 hours. Was I screaming? Anyway. Okay, so this is day 20th. Jane, Daphne Joy, is now on the stand, and the cross is going to be starting. Apparently, before the jury came in, Sumerian is now making a ruling. Judge says, I'm ruling that the government cannot recall the doctor for more testimony, despite the Second Circuit decision in U.S. versus Larry Ray. Now, the reason why they're saying they can't recall, number one, they wanted to recall. Remember, they put the doctor right after Cassie, but they also wanted to bring her for right after Jane. Not only did they want to recall her for Jane, they wanted to do this cross-examination where they brought up certain stuff that, to kind of shoring up the Cassie stuff. Because, again, I don't know what you guys think. I really think that, this woman, given, obviously they were fucking around for like 3 years, I think her testimony is going to be worth way more than Cassie. Again, optic-wise, I think the prosecutor knows this. Everybody keeps saying, well, of course, Cassie is the strongest victim because she lasted 11 years. Well, Cassie lasted 11 years, got out of a relationship with him, and was with another man for 5 years before she filed a civil suit. This case right here, we're seeing a woman who was dealing with Diddy up until the point of his arrest. And she's saying, yo, Diddy even paid for my lawyer. He's still paying for my place. Basically, she's like, it wasn't until I got a therapist I realized I was being abused. I was saying no way more than Cassie said no. Cassie didn't. Remember, Cassie said, I felt like I couldn't say no. I wouldn't say no because he would do it with another woman. Daphne was saying no a lot. Diddy was saying to her, well, if you don't do it, I'll give you two more months in that damn apartment. But I got to cut that shit off. I can't have you rocking out in an apartment that I'm paying for 10 bands a month and you don't want to do the freak offs. That was the thing. What does that show? And this is why I say stronger than Cassie. Diddy's lawyers, I think, did an effective job to paint Cassie as a woman who, wanted love and sought out affection and sought out family and sought out all the other things she saw other women get with Diddy. She was down to do things that was maybe, outside of, the scope of what she would be comfortable with, but she was never forced. She did it in the faith of love. She wanted Diddy. Ultimately, she left. She didn't file a lawsuit until she was financially in despair. That testimony hits different than the woman who did a freak off with you after your house got raided. She did a freak off with you a month before. She was about to go to New York and Diddy got arrested. I really think this is a star witness, people. I think if I'm the jury, I'm going to listen to her a little bit more because it seems way more transactional. We've never heard Cassie say, yo, Sean, just because I fucked 5 niggas last night, could you grease my account? Could you give me some bread? Could you send me a cash app? It was always understood. You my bitch. You get what you want. She never connected money to sex acts. Remember, when we're talking about sex trafficking, you need to prove that it's a commercial sex act. And commercial sex acts usually means a sex act that has financial transactions between it. Now, to be fair, what Diddy would do with Cassie, Diddy would say, check this out, Cassie. When you disobey me, you sneak out the hotel, you go fuck another rapper. Yes, I'm going to take away what I bought you. He definitely did that. That's not necessarily playbook sex trafficking. It's not necessarily playbook sex trafficking, people. So I do think that Cassie isn't a strong enough witness. And I know some of y'all are going to be more endeared to Cassie because the video of the beatdown. This ain't domestic violence. This isn't domestic violence. There was no sex workers that said, I witnessed Diddy beat Cassie because she wouldn't fuck me. Now, one did say, I heard like he was beating her in the next room, but I couldn't get hard. I couldn't perform after that. We don't know if they didn't testify to say he was beating her to keep fucking. So what we know with Cassie, again, I'm not saying these things are not proven, but I could see a jury kind of like, is it proven that Cassie was fucking for money? There's an understanding. We're thinking, well, you're fucking with Diddy. You want to keep the money flowing, so you're probably doing what he wants. But there is no explicit conversations and agreements like how Diddy is speaking to Jane. He's speaking to Daphne to say, well, if you don't do the freak off, he actually has a voice note. He says, get on your job, ma. You got to get on your job. Cassie described that she thought the freak offs were a job because she stopped doing music or the focus was on music. It's one thing when she testifies it. It's another thing when Diddy's on the line saying, get on your job, ma. Get on your motherfucking job. This is the video, if you guys don't remember, of Diddy talking to Gina where he's telling her, I'm not going to do the silent treatment. You better get on your job. That is what I think is a stronger proof of sex trafficking. Now, I know she's denied this, and this is why I can't wait for the cross today. But she's denied being a sex worker. Part of sex trafficking is being a sex worker, even if it's involuntary. When Diddy says, get on your job, and he seemingly is referring to, I need these freak offs. He's telling her in text, when she says, I don't want to do this no more. He says, well, you got 3 more months in that apartment, then I got to stop paying. I'm good. Those things are a stronger proof of sex trafficking. Don't let Cassie tears, her pregnancy, and all the other sob stories make you think she's a stronger witness. And Drill, make sure you click this. I need y'all to just put this up on YouTube. Who's the stronger witness? Cassie or Gina? No, it's not Gina. My bad. I keep saying Gina. Daphne Joy. Cassie, you could make the reasonable assumption she was a young girl seeking love. Did she love everything that came with it? Yes. Did she get beat? Yes. But did she willingly do all these things? Did she suggest it? Did she start taking the initiative? Again, I'm not saying it's impossible for someone to say Cassie was sex trafficked, but there is more of a gray area where it says, nah, that's just a girl who wants her man, and she down to do anything that other bitches might not do to get her man. That's a reasonable way to look at this. Daphne, Diddy tells her, I got multiple other girls. I have multiple other women. You're not my girl. I'll pay this for you. We're going to do, and this is the big thing, chat. Remember, this is a RICO. We need enterprise. We need this to seem like an organization. We're doing a love contract. We have a love contract. There was no contract with Cassie, but there was a love contract with Daphne. That's why I'm saying way stronger for sex trafficking. Love contract. It's written on a piece of paper. As long as you make me happy, you do what I want. You give me, it probably doesn't say you give me freak offs, but, or hotel nights. $10,000 a month. I got you. That seemingly is an agreement. Not seemingly, it is. You're on tape saying, get on your job.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad. I could have a spat. We could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is.
Right there. Get on your job. The threat of removing essentials, even though $10,000 a month is wild for rent, I'm gonna take it away if you don't keep doing this sexual act. She testified. Diddy kicked down 5 doors, beat her up, took a shower with her, slapped her, told her, get ready, put some makeup on. It's time to suck some dick. Diddy, seemingly after a physical altercation, had her have sex with someone who she claimed she never wanted to have sex with. Afterwards, to make it commercial, so we get force. Remember, sex trafficking, you need commercial sex act that's being done, moving one person from one place to another, interstate because it's a federal, and it's by force, fraud, or coercion. Forced assault. The coercion, if you don't do this, I'm stop paying. And in most federal cases, this is the strongest part. Show me the money. She testified, Diddy gave me $12,000. I broke off $4,000 to the sex workers. I took 8. Here's the thing. She don't realize she's a sex worker too. That's why they want to bring this huge psychologist person to explain to the jury. Nah, she was a sex worker. She's resentful to that term, and she did love him or she liked him. But essentially, Diddy looked at her and treated her like a sex worker. I keep telling you, this is the one. Diddy go to jail? This is the one. Reasonable case, abusive boyfriend, girlfriend shit, Cassie. Not so much. You have a girl that's not your girlfriend. You're telling her, I got you on a contract. I'm going to pay you this. Do this. You're still beating her ass. And then you're also, it's a lot. She's telling you repeatedly, don't want to do this. Don't want to do this. Don't want to do this. And you're saying, better get on your job.
Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you.
Somebody said he didn't use force. Donald Dale. We might have to send you back to King Akademiks page. You can't be over the academy saying dumb shit. Force doesn't mean you're holding her head down on a dick, brother. Force is violence. That's what force is. Violence. He supposedly beat her up, kicked 4 doors down, took a shower with her, slapped the shit out of her, and told her, get ready, you gotta go suck Anton's dick. If that's not force, what is? We gotta deport that guy. Deport him. We doing an ice raid. Get that man over to King Akademiks. Get that man. There's smart people. Like, there's smart people over at King Akademiks too. But the academy, you can't be at the academy and not be. Come on. The academy? Come on now. This man said, I don't see the force though. Okay. Now, again, this is a testimony of Jane. I'm describing what the prosecutor is eliciting. Now, do I think all these chicks were kind of, they knew what it was? Kind of in and around the sorts. Did they all have multiple chances to leave? Of course. I think Daphne, and I think that's what we're about to get into the cross right now. Daphne had more chances to leave than Cassie. Diddy would send people to stalk Cassie. It would send people to go get Cassie back to him. Daphne, he told, bitch, leave. If you don't want to suck these dicks, leave. I got other chicks. Leave. She wouldn't leave. Leave. He told her to leave mad times. And we didn't see him do anything But he did one time. He hit her up and he was trying to like get her back, but he wasn't doing some of the crazy stuff that Cassie said. Oh, he would have the security pull up on me. He would da. Nah. Okay. Back in court, people. Here we go. Submaranian says on the Jane notes reflecting to the alleged fraud to induce her into hotel nights, they're admissible. Okay? Now, remember, she wrote notes to herself about what Diddy promised. Now, let me explain this to y'all. Overseas, if you go to Romania, they call this, there's actually a charge for this. There's actually a Netflix documentary on this because they said the lover boy method is criminalized in certain places. I know y'all niggas, some niggas who your game is spitting game and selling a dream to a certain extent. You should do it to a certain extent if that's your thing. If a woman is only doing certain acts because they feel you promised them certain things, it becomes hazy. Now, is it documented? That heightens it even more. Now, remember, this woman is now testifying against Diddy. He promised me, and I would imagine that's what's in the notes. He promised me that if I got on that plane to come see him, it would just be a one-on-one, just me and him. Date night, movies. We're just doing that. What ends up happening? I get to him. Anton is whacking off, and I got to suck his dick for 30 hours. That's what basically the fraud is coming in. Do y'all understand? Fraud, force, coercion. Coercion would be coercion and fraud links. Yo, coercion is if you don't suck that dick, I don't know if I could keep paying rent. I don't know if I could do it. That says you're coercing her to do an act. It's like implicitly force, if you don't know. I think that's what the word means, actually, directly. Force is going to be, doesn't mean hold you down. It just means using physical intimidation and things that affect you directly. Fraud is going to be I tell you I'm going to do that, and to keep you here or doing more shit, I don't do it. I deceived you. That's fraud. So when Diddy would say, nah, come to New York, we're going to have one-on-one time. And now she goes to New York and she's not having one-on-one time. She's now involved in a commercial sex act. That is a clearer definition of sex trafficking. Sony, let me read what you just said. What'd you just say? Let me read your donation. Again, Tenny Gargos is going to do the cross. By the way, chat, I'm not here litigating for Diddy or not. But, as well, like, I ain't gonna lie, I like Unc, but I can tell Unc fucks with Diddy heavy. And he's like, his mind is made up already. I can tell. I love Unc, though. His mind is made up that Diddy's innocent. It don't matter what I think. I think these chicks was kind of with it. I think this nigga's just like beating girls. That's what I think. And he's freaky. That don't mean he gonna be found innocent. It's not about what we think. This is why we cover in the trial how we do. It ain't about what we think. It's about how the evidence is coming out. Wow, my voice. Is coming out. And what do we think reasonable people. And it's not going to be people that just think like the chat. It's going to be some women in there they're sobbing a little bit like I've been defrauded by some niggas too. There's a couple niggas be like, damn, imagine if that was my daughters, the older dudes. There's going to be a mixed perspective. So understand when I'm giving these other scenarios of why the government is doing a more effective job, it's not because of what I think. What I think is irrelevant. And that's why I'm not trying to give one particular side, because if the verdict doesn't agree with me, y'all gonna say, well, why did you present the case like that? I felt very guilty about the Tory stuff. I felt But it wasn't really on me because I wasn't in court. We were listening. That's why I keep listening to 5 different people, read it 15 times. I'll give you it one way, but I got to give it to you another way. We got to try it every way. Okay. Sony says, yo, Act, thank you for the 20, by the way. Why are you putting on this narrative out there on Diddy? Okay, he's a freak. He gave Daphne an option. If she didn't want to comply, she could leave. I'm starting to feel you want Diddy in prison. That's not the case, brother. I'm only going off what the charges are. The charges are sex trafficking. Brother, we know that these chicks was down with the get down. If Diddy don't get arrested, Daphne never comes out. We know that. But we can't root for Diddy. Even if you like Diddy, you can't root for Diddy in our chat. We're not in court. You should have been a juror if you feel like that. Go to be a juror. We're keeping our own jury here, and we want to be fair and honest. That's it. Okay. Baby D, the Space Cowboy, says, I'm back smoking on that white rabbit. Hey, Akademiks. Think you should call whack. Tim D. the Barber says, I have a feeling Daphne Joy may be the defense Trojan horse. I'm glad you said that. We'll see what she says on cross. She has to. Now, I think she gave enough on direct. Now, if on cross she said, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how she could flip back what she said yesterday, but we'll see. I don't know how she could flip back what she said yesterday. It was damaging. I'm telling you, Cassie shit, I see Cassie as a broke hoe who wanted to get some money, who picked a dude, used to a certain lifestyle, but picked a dude who couldn't match a lifestyle. Flawless P, thank you for that. Thank you for the 5. It says, if he was using the word job as a paid position, then you'd be accurate. But he says, I'm doing my job, implies he's doing he's using the word job as a duty. Flawless P. It's good. Listen, this is why we cover court cases. Because if you're a good debater, you also understand that most things ain't black and white. That's a gray area. It's a gray area. We just got to prove this guy been doing commercial sex acts. You already have one inclination that's a commercial sex act because it includes a prostitute getting paid thousands of dollars. So even if it's a little bit out of context, and this is why the cross-examine has to debunk it, you want to play the audio where he's paying a sex worker. You have her admitting on the stand, all he wanted me for was hotel nights, and then you play the audio of him saying, get on your job. Chat, again, I'm going over these arguments made by both sides. All right? It's all good. Like, please don't think I'm taking a side. One day I think Diddy's guilty. One day I think he's innocent. I'm all over the place. Okay. So, Shapiro